simple, right? Slice of pizza. ITALPIZZA. This is a frozen pizza imported from Italy that I got just at my local grocery. I've never had this before. I've never even really seen this brand. But I was there yesterday picking up a prescription. Okay. And so I was just browsing around. And this is the grocery store that I go to 2-3 times a week, to be honest, right? Like I'm just constantly in there grabbing. So I need some cheese, I need some sugar, whatever the case may be. So I kind of know everything they have. And I browse the pizza selection sometimes. I get a couple Red Baron personal deep dishers just for, enjoyment and quick meals, but not spicy related. And I rarely ever see a spicy related pepperoni or a pizza. And this says wood-fired pizza, devil pepperoni with chili tomato sauce. And that's what got me. The devil got me first, but then I was like, okay, we're infusing the tomato sauce. That makes the most sense to me, right? If we're going to make a spicy traditional style pizza, we need to start with the tomato sauce, in my opinion. And then we can do toppings and cheese and whatever. But if you have my spicy pizzas I've personally made, that's where we start. Anyways, mozzarella cheese, uncured pepperoni, and spicy provolone cheese. Again, product of Italy. That's what it's supposed to look like. And I'm going to be honest. Here's one slice. I know it's hard to say it looks like it, but it honestly looks like the picture. And that's just crazy. You just never see it. Anyway. Okay. I was reading up, it just says chili peppers in there for all the spicy type ingredients. 380 calories. And a serving size is 1/3 of the pizza. So this is 1/4 of the pizza. I just cut it in 4s. So a little over 300 calories just in that. It is what it is. This pizza is hand stretched and cooked in a real wood fire oven. Size and shape may vary due to the artisanal process. Ingredients list is pretty long, but it's right here. It's not as long, okay, as what you would typically see in America. So maybe this is coming from Italy. I mean, it says in here, www.italpizza.com and then /US. So, no joke. This is how pizza's meant to be done. I don't know. I'm interested. They have quite a few different, styles of pies. I looked them up. Let's see what we're working with. I was lucky enough to visit Italy October of 2024. So last year, a little over a year now. And this isn't the style necessarily. It's got a good hold to it. It's flopping a little bit. And I noticed that the middle of the pie was getting real greasy and stuff. But good backside to it. But this isn't exactly the style of pizza that I received in Italy. And, I am by no means a pizza aficionado. I am by no means a Italian aficionado. I went there one time for a week and was blessed. My family stayed for a month and we had a fantastic time. Scusi. But this isn't necessarily the style that I got. But what I like about this for a frozen pie, is it is pretty airy. It's really crisp on the outside. Anyways, let's try this. Devil pepperoni. The pepperoni tastes good. It's really greasy. But it's not necessarily dripping. I let this sit for a good amount of time before I cut it and started this review. I even cooked it slightly longer than what it said to do. 425, 8 to 13 minutes, blah, blah, blah. And the dough for me, I think it's slightly undercooked. And that's on me. I'm going to be honest. Even though I did what the directions said, I think it's on me. At least that's how it tastes. It tastes a little bit undercooked. Yeah, just a little bit. But I didn't want the crust to be too hard or the bottom to be too hard. And that happens with frozen shit. Is sometimes you know, it's a balancing out. You know. So it's better than what I'm presenting to you. The crust here, this portion, which I would imagine, you know, this would all taste like if I got it to the right temperature. It tastes grilled. It tastes fiery a little bit. And it has a great, just overall flavor and texture to the outside. I got scared and thinking maybe I was cooking it too much. But it aired up nicely and has a nice crunch. I mean, and this pizza was $7.49. It's not as big as this box. I mean, it's 4 slices just like I showed you here. I don't do a lot of frozen pizzas in my life. If I'm going to do a frozen dinner, it's frozen burritos, frozen tamales, you know, but that's how my life is, man. We just tend to go to the Mexican and Hispanic style foods. But this is a decent pie. This is a decent frozen pizza. It has a nice crunch on the outside. Maybe I didn't undercook this. I don't know. What I will tell you is that the style of the pizza itself, the slice, whatever, wasn't what I'm used to in Italy, you know. But this does taste a little bit fresher than other, you know, Tostinos, even Red Baron. And I'm a big Red Baron fan. I get those personal deep dishers, man, whatever. So I will fucks with those. But it tastes fresh. It tastes a little light. It's heavy on the dough. And that's what I was getting at earlier, in that I'm not used to that with Italian pizza that I got straight in Italy. It seems a little doughier, a little heavier, but it eats pretty light. I'm not really picking up a spice on it. And that's what this channel is really about. But I wanted to try it. You put the name, yeah. This crust on the outside, man, is fucking legit. Like, it is, it doesn't taste frozen, that portion of it. You know, the tomato sauce is a little weak. But again, it could be all temperature variant. You know, there's a lot of factors. It tastes tomatoey. It came out of the box and came out of the oven just like what you see here. I mean, I'm not making this up. It looked just like that. It really fucking did. So, well done. You know, I'm getting a spice to it, but it's like an oregano spice. You know what I mean? It's not really a super heavy chili spice. See? See, and that part is a little... You can tell the pie was pre-cooked because it didn't take long to make. But it has that, and again, I'm not a connoisseur or a expert on wood-fired, right? I've had some wood-fired pizzas and whatnot, but I'm not, you know, even baking a sandwich in a wood-fired. But I'm not an expert, but this has some of that vibe to it. It's got that rustic, burnt, crispy, you know, and for me, the best way to describe it is burnt. It has that burnt flavor to it. And my fucking oven didn't do that to it. You know what I mean? It already came out of the box kind of looking like that, where one side wasn't heavily dark on the crust. We're talking about the crust here. And this part, a little bit darker. I mean, that's how the pie looked coming out of it. Not that in depth or, you know, but then once you cooked it, it really highlighted the pie. So for a frozen pizza, I think it's solid. I think that's definitely, people are going to be happy with that. I'm happy with that, you know. And once I eat 3 more slices the exact same way as what that one was, I think I'm really going to be even more excited. I just, you know, I knew this video was already going to be long enough. I think the spice on it, again, because I'm a big promoter on eating the entire thing to dictate how spicy something really is. I think if I ate the 3 more slices, which I'm going to, I think the heat will kind of notch a little bit, especially in the gum line, the front of the mouth, you know, the gum here, not underneath my teeth gum line, but right in the jaw line, gum line, because that's kind of where I'm kind of picking up a little something. I don't know. It's very minute, very, very minute. Even non-chili heads might be like, this shit ain't spicy, right? Like, you know, so it is very minute with that. But the overall conception and the you know, the flavor of what that actually is, and being a frozen pie, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. I appreciate you burning with me. ITALPIZZA? ITAL pizza, Ital pizza, wood-fired devil pepperoni.